Hello, it is Ash Wednesday, February 18th, and this is the first video journal of Lent. Today I got up, whenever I woke up, around 6:15ish, and got up and I got up and got ready, and then did my hour of stillness meditation. And it's been a while since I've done an hour, and it's also been a while since I've actually meditated, which that's part of. I mean, it's the major reason that I'm making this commitment because, a few years ago, it was a core part of my daily routine was silence and stillness meditation, and it's very fruitful in my life. But the drift is real, and just one thing after another led to it not being every day, and then it was just once a week, and then the once a week, it's like a week gets skipped, and then all of a sudden 2 weeks get skipped, and then we're where to it's like so irregular it's barely a thing. And so committing back to that, I already know it's going to be fruitful, and it keeps it, it makes it, I guess, easy to persevere through this first part, knowing that it's going to be worth it. But the experience this morning was I did it for an hour, and I always, or my personal practice is to breathe, pay attention to the sensation of my breath, and as I'm doing that, repeat a mantra of the fruit of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, and self-control. I try to take one breath per fruit. And so breathing in, saying love in my mind, and then exhaling, also saying love, and then joy. And then I start over if I get lost in thought, I start over at the beginning. And this morning, I mean, I don't know if I even made it to joy without also thinking. There was a few times where I breathed and said joy, but I don't think there was a single time where I took a full breath, and the only thing that I was thinking was being there now in the moment, feeling my breath. And that's just the truth of the matter. And I was thinking about, well, everything but the present moment, but thinking about some art projects, like my big ass truck video, things were coming up, what I wanted to say in the Instagram video that I knew that I was going to make for Ash Wednesday, and but then also one thing that I noticed was like things from yesterday, things last night, like songs that I had heard were playing, repeating, echoing, and I started thinking about how our minds are echo chambers, or like they're echo caves. Sure how to help you with that. And the things that we yell into the cave, or the things that we think about, the things that we experience, the things that we input, they echo for a while. And I'm not quite sure how to help you with that. My I have it triggered by the word echo, so that's just the only. uh, um, so your inputs echo in your mind. Well, I'll say this: my inputs echo within my mind, and they continue to echo, but get fainter as obviously they get further away. So the echo of yesterday is closer than the echo of the day before. And so that got me thinking about how that the echoes of the previous days were much louder than what I'm doing today, because what I'm doing today is new. But tomorrow I'll have the echo of today, and it'll resonate on itself as I progress forward in Lent, to where the echo of yesterday's meditation is aligning with today's, which aligns with 3 days ago, 4 days ago, and now I'm just here, breathing, hearing love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, goodness, and self-control. And that was just something I thought today. I don't know if that's it. It feels true to me, and it feels true to my lived experience, but that is what I thought today. And then I also say that the last 8 minutes of the meditation was the longest and hardest, I would say. And I did have to get up about 20 minutes into it for a bathroom break. I tried to stay in the meditation even through the bathroom break, but I did have to interrupt it, unfortunately. But it is what it is. I didn't judge myself for it. And then after that, I went to Pony Coffee, and I got a black coffee and journaled until 9. And then I worked on my computer, doing my computer things until 10. And then I went up to the church and got Ash Wednesday service ready. Tired. Got Ash Wednesday service ready, and then we ran through it from 11 to 11:40ish, and then Ash Wednesday service was from noon to 1. And then I went back to Pony Coffee after I finished up everything at the church, and got a video ready for Sunday. And then I came home and did I do anything else? Then I came home and made the Ash Wednesday Instagram video that I was supposed to make, and did that. I did. I am thinking that I might try black tea tomorrow, because I think having black coffee, it's more, I don't know if it's more caffeine that I get in my chai, because I did get a dirty chai, so it has a double shot of espresso in it. But in the 16 ounce, right? That's what it is. That's chai, milk, and the shot. So either it's just not, it's more diluted or something. I don't know, but I don't feel the caffeine, and I feel more satiated by the chai. versus coffee. I feel like it made me more hungry drinking it, but ultimately I could really feel the caffeine. And I have a 12-ounce cup and I didn't even finish it. So I'm thinking I may try just going with Earl Grey tea instead of black coffee, at least tomorrow, and see how that goes. But I think that'll probably be better. I was definitely hungry today, and I didn't eat until 4. I tried to just like be hungry as long as possible, and then just ate at 4, and then I'm not feeling it in this particular moment. Right whenever I sat down to record, though, I was like, man, I'm feeling peckish. So that's that. I also want to try as much as possible to eliminate the ums. It's so easy to add filler words. Trying to think if there's anything else from today. I do feel like I had good, like, conversation slash positive influence on some people at the coffee shop. So just, osmosis, being just living part of my day publicly invites conversation, curiosity, and that can affect small and potentially meaningful change. So I recognize that and see that happening. My friend Jackson stopped in on his way out of town again. So good to see at least a moment of him. I am backing up my video archive. I have one hard drive that has, let's see what it is. So everything that I have on YouTube in my archive channel, 1960s is where it starts, but ultimately, 1989. There's like a dozen videos before that of other things, but 1989, and then I have all my family home movies from 1989 to 2017 on one hard drive. And so I'm currently backing all of that up to another hard drive because it only the only physical copy I have is on this one hard drive, and then it's on YouTube. And so I wanted to get this backed up. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because these are regular HHDs, and where is it? There it is. Regular HHDs using USB 2 or 3. It's this kind of cable with, I think this is USB-A and this is USB-B. No, I forget what this is called, but it is not the fastest technology, is what I'm getting at. And trying to transfer this 4 terabytes right now, it's transferring a folder of 1.2 terabytes, and it was like 16 hours is what it would take. And to transfer the whole 4 terabytes, it said it was going to take 2 days. And yep, that's just the way it be. The way it USB. I said a lot of things in my Instagram video today that I would probably be saying in this video journal, but I feel like I already said it, so that's why I'm not saying it, but I should. So here's my take on Lent. So today's Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday is the beginning of Lent, and the language that I've come to is, as a Christian, I model my life after the lifestyle of Jesus in my daily and weekly rhythms. But as the church, we model our yearly calendar around the life cycle of Jesus, and the birth of Jesus with Christmas, the death of Christ with Easter, and Lent is a part of this life cycle of Jesus. In the last 40 days of his life leading up to crucifixion, he went into the wilderness to fast and pray. And the church now uses this model that Jesus set forth as a yearly rhythm. And this yearly rhythm starts with Ash Wednesday, and Ash Wednesday is a day that we stop to remember our mortality, and we put this ash cross on our head as a reminder to ourselves that from ash we came, and to ash we will return. From dust we came, to dust we will return. And with the forward-looking hope of resurrection. And it makes me think about, from ash we were created, or from dust we were created, and God breathed life into that dust. And I am I'm a collection of dust animated by the breath of Christ to operate and experience life as a participant and witness to what it means to be alive and co-create with the Creator the future kingdom of heaven. both here on earth and in heaven. Here on earth is easy to see and extrapolate. Here in heaven, my first view of heaven being the heaven of now, but second, the mystery of it all, and the prayer side of it, the side that is just neurons firing. But then there's the animating spirit that breathed life into those neurons, communicating with everything. That there may be a metaphysical connection to my actions and my willing participation in communicating with the metaphysical might bring more heaven. Might. I'm more comfortable with the other side, that my actions which ride on the waves of all the Christians before me in bringing about goodness. I add a ripple to these waves that eventually turn into waves of their own into the infinity of the future until heaven is brought to earth. Yeah, that's a lot of language of detail could be added in there, but ultimately that's the macro scale that may not make sense outside of my own head because I have all the other language swimming in there and I'm just distilling it down to those few words. But back to Lent. The thing that I know and believe about Lent based on my own lived experience is that there's power in fasting. There's power in self-denial and self-oblation. Is that the right word? I want to look that up. Yes. Self-oblation is the spiritual practice of offering oneself, one's life, labors, body, and soul to God as a living sacrifice. I am in constant pursuit of freedom, and I have learned and known for my entire life that freedom, real, true freedom, is not in doing anything and everything that I want. True freedom is honoring and obeying the authority that grants the freedom. And I learned this through my parents, who were my authority, but now it is the Father and God, Holy Spirit, Jesus, the Trinitarian community of love that we call God, the mystery of the universe, that gentle whisper of the soul. When I surrender and honor and obey the voice of God, the commands of Jesus, I gain more freedom. And in Lent, giving up fasting and choosing to lay down things that I would rather not lay down creates space for the Spirit to move and to work and to speak and take me and opens my hands to receive what God has for me and the next right thing. And that has always led me towards more freedom, because that's multifaceted, but in one of the ways, the things that I'm fasting, if I'm not the one in control, then it has control of me, which means I'm not free. If I'm beholden to, well, I'm fasting alcohol, so if I have to go out and have a drink, then I'm not the one who's in control and choosing that in this moment I would like to go have a drink, and I go out and have a drink. It is I feel that way, but it's actually the alcohol who has such control over my life that it drives my body to go and get the drink. And by fasting, I know that I'm the one making the choice, because if I feel that I would like to go get a drink, I say no and don't. And that act of telling my desires who's boss creates freedom and allows me to know that I'm living in freedom instead of thinking or guessing that I'm living in freedom. This is actually a better example than alcohol, is root beer. Because over the last year, I essentially went from not drinking soda and then having, an occasional root beer, to where I don't know how it's probably been in this, it could be a year at this point, where I would get a root beer every single day. I would go to Quick Trip, get a big Q, fill that up, bring it home, put it in my Yeti cup, and I would drink on that root beer for the rest of the evening. And essentially, I would never drink water, because I would have my chai in the morning, and I have a fellow mug that keeps it warm, so I will sip on my chai from whenever I get it all the way up until like 1, and then whenever I am done with that phase of the day and I go transition to eating, I'll stop at Quick Trip, get a root beer, and then if I ran out of root beer before the evening was over, I would feel like it took over. I have 1 minute left. Root beer took over my water, and so I feel like it had a more of a grip, and so anyways, I don't know exactly how to verbalize everything that I was just thinking and trying to say, but hit this last 30 seconds, giving up root beer to tell root beer that I'm the boss, and I already know that it's going to be hard that's going to be one of the harder things of this whole fast, is not drinking soda, because I have allowed that to become such a habit over the last year that I'm now going to be forming new neural pathways, and that's what it's going to be. Thank you for listening. This has been February 18th.